Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The story of Hassan ibn Thabit radiallahu anhu, Shaira Rasulullah, which means a poet to Rasulullah. The history of Islam is indeed one of the interesting things and also contain a lot of wisdom. There are so many stories of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his companions that we need to know. The following is a story of our Prophet's companions who could not take up a sword and fight. But before we begin, let us recognize a little bit of the two main characters in today's story. They are Hassan ibn Thabit radiallahu anhu and Shafiya binti Abdul Muttalib radiallahu anha. Shafiya binti Abdul Muttalib was none other than our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's aunt, the daughter of Abdul Muttalib, and Halah binti Wuhayb, our Prophet's grandparents, and she was also the direct sister to Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib radiallahu anhu. Whilst Hassan ibn Thabit was a famous Arabian poet even before he became Muslim and one of the Sahaba or companions of our Prophet. He was also best known for his poems in defense of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The story began 2 years after the Battle of Uhud, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam led the people of Yathrib, which is now called Medina, to the Battle of the Trench, also known as the Battle of Khandaq, in the year 627 Masihi. He left women and children in fortresses for protection against the Confederates and the Jews of Bani Qurayza. Shafi'ah was in the fortress, known as the Fari, under the supervision of Hassan ibn Thabit. Hassan was assigned to look after the woman, and he did not go out to fight. A Jewish man then came and climbed the fortress until he was able to see everyone. When Shafi'ah saw the Jew, she then said to Hassan, "Look at the man who climbed that building. Hurry up and kill him." But Hassan replied, "If I could do so, I would have been with the Prophet and would not have been assigned to look after the women and children." Shafi'ah kept urging him and wouldn't take no for an answer, but Hassan kept replying, "To be honest, I really can't." Finally, Shafi'ah said, "Then hurry up and tie the sword into my hand, and I promise I won't pressure you again." Hassan then tied the sword in Shafi'ah's hand. After that, the aunt of Rasulullah ﷺ immediately approached the Jew, and with that much difficulty, she managed to kill the Jew and cut off his head. She then asked Hassan to drag the head of the invader to the Jews, who were at the bottom of the side of the fortress. He swore by Allah that he would not do so. So she took the head and threw it at them. The Jews then said, "We were wrong. Muhammad did not leave his family alone with that bodyguards." Rasulullah ﷺ finally returned from the battlefield, and Shafi'ah then told our Prophet the incident between Hassan and the Jews. After hearing the story, our Prophet laughed so hard until his front teeth were visible. Even Shafi'ah radiallahu anha had never seen her nephew laugh louder at that time. Yunus ibn Bukhari once said she was the first Muslim woman to kill a polytheist. Although Hassan bin Thabit could not fight during the Battle of the Trench, he was indeed a friend who always defended the Prophet with his poetry. Poetry was an important part of the Arab culture at that time, and his poems can certainly discourage the enemies of Islam. Rasulullah ﷺ once said to Hassan, "O Hassan, indeed Jibreel will always support you as long as you destroy the spirit of the polytheists with me in defense of Allah and the Messenger." It was these words that inspired Hassan bin Thabit, and he was almost never absent on every battlefield, as he was always by his side of our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He always appeared before the troops of the infidels to recite poems that could discourage the enemy. It is known that Hassan bin Thabit has a wife named Sirin. The woman was quite special because she was the sister of Maria al-Qibtiyah, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, who was of Egyptian descent. Hassan bin Thabit's age reached to 120 years old. He died in the year 54 Hijriyah or 674 Masihi in Medina. He lived for 60 years during the Jahiliyah period and 60 years during the Islamiyah period. Before he died, Hassan had been tested by Allah SWT with blindness, but he endured it patiently. Before Hassan embraced Islam, he was a poet who loudly vilified Islam. After Hassan received Hidayah, Hassan directed his work to defend Islam. He began to convert to Islam at an advantage age of 60 years. Wallahu alam bisawab. Such is the story of the companions of a prophet who could not fight. Although he could not fight, but his struggle was extraordinary to defend Islam. In addition, he is also a friend who likes to make the prophet laugh out loud. From there, he is one of the people who gets the pleasure of Allah SWT. Therefore, love the lovers of Allah, so that we are loved by Allah SWT. Amin Ya Rabbal Alamin. That's it for today. Hope that we can benefit from this story and increase our iman, inshallah. Please don't forget to share it with your loved ones and take care of one another. Jazakallahu khairan, shukran.